2020 ultimately came out to be the second hottest year on record as NOAA recorded the global average temperature of 2020 at 0.98 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial averages. 2020 virtually tied with 2016, the hottest year on record, which greatly alarmed climate scientists because 2016's high temperature was fueled in part by a large natural El Niño cycle, which features above average equatorial sea surface temperatures across the Pacific and adds more heat to the atmosphere, while 2020 featured a cooling La Niña cycle. Essentially, even with a cooling trend, a La Niña, 2020 was a hot year. The 2010s were the hottest decade on record in human history, and the 2020s are already starting off warmer than average. 2016 is still the hottest year on record, with a global average temperature recorded at 1 degree Celsius according to NOAA, as 2020 takes a second at 0.98 degrees Celsius. And also, the last 7 years have been the hottest years on record. At a glance, 2020 was an unprecedented year in terms of climate and the weather. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season was the most active on record, having 30 named storms, more than double the activity of a normal season, beating out 2005 as the most active season, which that year had a global average temperature of 0.67, so you can see the alarming nature of increasing warming trends. Another big climate impact was the catastrophic Australian bushfire season ending in early 2020, which also was a record breaker, having burned more than 46 million acres and destroyed more than 3,500 homes. Also, quote, the hottest August through October period in western United States history combined with severe drought and once-in-a-generation offshore wind event brought about an apocalyptic western United States wildfire season. 4.2 million acres burned in California, and 2020 was more than double the previous record set in 2018. Total United States wildfire damages in 2020 were around $16.5 billion. Or how about the strongest cyclone on record to hit land? Typhoon Goni struck the Philippines on November 1st with winds of 195 miles per hour. Goni was the strongest landfalling tropical cyclone in world recorded history. Other extremes recorded was Death Valley, California, recording the hottest temperature on Earth, 129.9 degrees Fahrenheit or 54.4 degrees Celsius in August. On the other end, what happens in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. The Arctic sea ice reached its annual minimum on September 15, 2020, bottoming out at its second lowest extent and volume ever recorded behind 2012. Scientists expect the Arctic to be ice-free in the summer beginning sometime between 2030 and 2050, and overall, 3/4 of the volume of summer sea ice in the Arctic has melted over the past 40 years. So, without looking at the political turmoil in 2020 in terms of the climate was a disaster and a foreboding reminder that warmer temperatures doesn't mean better temperatures for humanity and other mammals living on Earth. In conclusion, 2020 was definitely a record for the history books, and we will ultimately see what happens in 2021 in terms of temperatures and weather, but the trend of the global average temperature is accelerating to warmer and more dangerous temperatures and is something to be aware of. More updates soon. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Green Report for more monthly recap videos on the environment and the climate crisis.